So, as I've mentioned in another video earlier on about skin tax and stuff, even if you're not the one paying, sometimes your girlfriend, wife, Filipina, will just say, ends up getting charged the skin tax, as it happened at a certain beach in another video. Something to happen now, because it's not only you that has a target on your back for being scammed for money, blackmailed, whatever. It's your Filipina. What happened was we had a worker building the house. He was a laborer. He was hired by the carpenter, so officially worked for the carpenter. He claimed he got hurt at work. Now we had several days where we were rained out, no work. And the day before that, I took everybody to a beach at a party, and I bought them, some alcohol and fed them and stuff for my appreciation, doing a good job. And the guy was there, no problem. His foot was fine, no limping, nothing. So after a few days, that was on the 11th of September, and we did have a couple of guys later working, doing small stuff in between rainstorms. We're sitting there. I'm laying in here in the house. Anne's doing something in the kitchen or something, and we hear the doorbell ring. And this was September 16th, 17th, actually. It was the 17th. She goes out, comes in, and sends me out. She said, "There's a visitor here who wants to talk to you." And I go out, and the guy shows me his foot's hurt. And I said, "You get hurt your foot?" And he said, "Yeah." And his mother and his brother's there with him. She's blah, 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 and wanting money. So I said, "Well, how much was it?" They hand me a receipt for 600 and some odd pesos for a doctor visit, and then a couple of prescriptions. And they said 1,500 pesos. Originally, his brother said 1,000 pesos, but the mother, 1,500, 1,500. So I gave him 1,500 pesos. Thought that was, the end of it. And a few days later, when we get back to work, he's not back to work, and I didn't expect him with a hurt foot. But me and Ann's leaving the house to go to the work site, and Barangay summons to show up for the Barangay. Now, what that is here in the Philippines, it's like not exactly a court. They can't arrest you, but they can have the police arrest you. They make a decision on if an issue is going to the police or going to the court or whatever. They listen and try to come up with a solution. But if you sign a paperwork with them, that's just as binding as going to court, the way it was explained to me. So he was suing Anne, or claiming to the barangay that Anne fired him because he got hurt at work. And luckily for me, I have a what they call CCTV. I have a security camera right outside here in the front door. So that day, everything they said was on that security camera, and I have it on the computer. I recorded it because Anne got a little angry because they asked her, said, "Oh, 1,000 pesos, 1,000 pesos." As soon as I come out, she comes in and I come out, it's all 1,500. So we go to the barangay. Uh, the barangay secretary and the captain, lady is the captain sitting behind the desk, and the secretary sitting in a chair, and we're all sitting in chairs around the room. And he's doing all the questions and everything. And he lets them speak first. We sit there quiet, don't say a word, and they go through their spiel. And then it's our turn. And starts, and they kept interrupting. And finally, I kept telling them, listen, we did not interrupt you. When you were talking, don't interrupt us. They didn't listen very well. And Ann and the mother got into a couple of very heated arguments. I don't understand exactly what was being said, but I could tell Ann was like, up yours, you know. Come to find out, they wanted us to pay for every day he was off work until he came back to work. And Ann told him, we don't have a contract with you. We did not hire you. We're not a business. We're building a house. You know, we're not obligated to that. And it went back and forth for a little while. And the Barangay secretary did explain to me how the system worked and everything before everything started. Really good gentleman. He let me know, you know, this is not a court of law. No, nobody's, you know, going to jail. We're not arresting anybody. We're just trying to come up with a uh, solution to the problem and find out what the problem is. So basically, the lady tells the barangay she never asked for money. She never came to the house and asked for money. And like Ann said, right here's the pull your computer out and show the video, hun. So I pulled the computer out, I get the video ready, and I asked the barangay, I said, do you want to see the video? And he said, that's not going to be necessary because everything was recorded by the CCTV camera, which is good to have. If you're in this country, have stuff recorded because it can save your butt and it could save your girlfriend's butt because they couldn't put my name on there because I'm a foreigner, but they thought that me and Ann were married, so they could sue her and get a bunch of money or whatever, or scam her out of money. I finally did get to speak, and like I told the barangay officer, I said, the last time I seen this guy before he came to the house looking for money was September 11th. We took him to the beach. We bought him drink and everything. Brought him home. There was nothing wrong with his foot. I said, that's the last time I seen him until the 17th. He shows up at my door asking for money. And I gave him 1,500 pesos because I felt bad for the guy. But we also have a witness that says when he left our work site, the last time he worked, there was nothing wrong with his foot. He worked a half a day and he still owes us for a half a day of labor. I said, I don't believe that his foot got hurt at work. And the barangay secretary said, yeah, that is hard to prove because he never told anybody when he got hurt at work, nothing. Ended up, the solution was that when his foot heals, he can come back to work. They signed a piece of paper, and the barangay explained to me this is a legal document. Both sides have to follow this document. It's just like in a court of law. It's just like if you're before a judge. Both sides have to agree and follow this agreement. So Ann signed the paperwork, or before Ann signed the paperwork, the barangay secretary looked at me and said, is that okay with you? Because he knew that I was the one that was kind of being scammed for the money, and I was the one that they were truly after. And I said, I don't know if I can trust the guy. I said, if I could trust him, yeah. But if I can't trust him, I don't want to see him again. And he said, I guarantee you, you can trust him. I know the people, you can trust him. We'll make sure that you can trust him. I said, okay then. And I looked at him, I said, you get hurt at work, you tell somebody immediately. You don't wait. You tell somebody immediately. And he, okay. So I doubt he's ever going to show up back to work. He's embarrassed now, and he won't show up. If he does, okay, fine with me, but he better walk a fine line. And his mother was steaming. She thought sure that she was going to get a bunch of money from a foreigner, get paid for all these days that he's off work, and if he never shows up to work, she'll just keep getting money. She was the one that instigated this whole thing. You could tell I have a good way of reading people, even though they don't speak my language. I can tell what they're saying and thinking. My instincts kick in, and I could tell because she was sitting there just like this the whole time after the agreement was made. So we'll see what happens there. Anything else happens with that, I will do an update. But be aware, uh, it's not just you that has a target on your back for being scammed by ruthless Filipinos, unsavory people. Most people here are good. They don't do that kind of thing, but you got a few that do. It's your girlfriend too, or your wife, or whatever the case might be. People will go after them to try to get money from you. So be aware of that. Protect yourself. Uh, record stuff. If you have an interaction with somebody trying to get money from you for whatever, record it. That way, if they turn around and go to the barangay and say you did this or that or the other, you got proof of what happened. Because when they found out I had that video, they kind of, you could tell that they were surprised and their story kind of fell apart. So just, protect yourself, use video, protect your girlfriend, wife, whatever the case may be. And because there will be people try to take advantage of her because of you. It's happened to me a couple of times now, and this is about the second time I've really had a problem with it. But luckily, I had everything recorded. The barangay saw what they were doing, and no more problem. No money exchange hands. They won't get another penny. So everything worked out good there. So protect yourself and protect your girlfriend, wife, whatever. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. Bye, y'all.